We are going to continue our work on the Eberron cartography that we've been working on here for the past 28 episodes. It's coming along pretty well. This is going to be the last session that we're working on this. We're going to go above ground after this. So let me check my signal, make sure everything's coming through straight, and I'll go through my spiel, and then we'll make this happen. So give me a hot second here. We are going to... Cool. All right, sounds like that's coming through A-OK. So let me walk through my spiel here real quick and we'll get to work. So, hey, here's my spiel. My name is Theurgy. Hi. I create role-playing game supplements that are PDFs. Currently, I focus my attention on 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. There is a number of links in the description down below to other work that I've already produced that's published on the DMsGuild. Everything I produce is 100% free preview. So if you go to each of the individual book product pages, underneath the cover, if you're on a tablet or a desktop, underneath the cover image, you'll see a link that says full preview, or if you're on a mobile phone, you'll see an eye icon on the right-hand side of the screen. So whether you click on the eye icon or the full preview link, it'll pop open a PDF. You'll be able to read the entire document cover to cover. That's just how I give back to the community. So amongst the different books and the bundles that are listed down below, and a bundle is a number of different books that are grouped together for a lower cost. So you go into a bundle, like the Color Mana bundle, you go into the bundle and then you can click on each individual book in the bundle to then pull open the PDF preview for each of them. Read them all cover to cover, about 150 different illustrations amongst those books. So if you're an art enthusiast, be welcome to peel them open and check out the kind of work that I produce. If you are a D&D enthusiast, all these mechanics are meant for play from level 1 to 20. I, as a DM, I run campaigns from level 20 in about around 250 some odd hours before we start up a new campaign at level 1 again. So almost everything that I've produced, I've ran from level 1 to 20 using. And I know they work, and I'll go in and I'll make revisions and I'll tinker with them and then update the document when I find little opportunities to improve the quality of life of the document. So if you pick it up now, as it evolves, like all my work will be updated for one D&D or whatever that ends up becoming in the end. So if you want to support my work, check out what it is I've got going on. In addition, hold on, I've just posted that I'm live on Twitter. So if you follow me on Twitter, at Phil Kearney, like my name below, Filkearney, you'll be able to see other things that I update along the way. And let's see. PS Canvas. How am I doing this? Am I doing this right? That. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Hold on. Why am I on this page? Oops. Ha! I screwed up my live stream. This is the live stream that I'm supposed to be on. Damn it. Hold on. I'm gonna have to go through all my channels and fix them real quick. So my apologies for the inconvenience, but I've posted the wrong link to all my Discord channels. So we'll get live here in a moment. Today is the last day that we are going to be underground. When we pick up next week, or rather on Thursday, we'll be above ground. And hold on here, working on editing all my crap so that it's properly edit. Edit button. There, sorry, I gotta go through here for a minute and update all my stupid shit because I was an idiot and I looked at the wrong video. So don't mind me while I take a moment here to get my shit updated. Here, pop, pop. What a pain in the ass. Sorry for the delay, guys. Almost there. Stay on target. I'm glad I checked on that because I was providing the wrong link. Yeah, nothing I can do about Twitter, but fuck it. Cool. I got everything updated there now. Now that I am officially done with that. Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Phil Kearney. And best way to support the channel otherwise is to click the like icon, subscribe, hit the bell, and help me build up to 1,000 followers and consistent 4 to 10, 20,000 hours of content consumed per month. That would really make my day. So I'm going to grab a sip of water here. Hit our timer, give us a 20-minute marker. Started. It's 10:14 now, so I get about 100 minutes for us to play today. And we are going to play in the eye area. So the only thing left for us to do right now is to texture this this hole in the ground, change the texture on the water here flowing from the drowned fort upstairs, and to finish all these little finish all the tile grit in these clean room areas. I also have a teleportation circle to produce, and different like cots and crates and tables and stuff like that. Maybe, well, maybe this won't be the last session I spend in the dungeon. But I also have to do a bunch of assets like campfires, sitting, like crates to sit on, tents on the top side, plus the air, the air cleaners. So I have a number of assets I'm going to need to build for all of these maps. So I actually will be coming back down into the dungeon to place all those assets once we create them. But that's not the actual map itself. So that's what we're attempting to do right now, is finish the map. So having said that, let's see what I can do to finish the map. I'm gonna do that initially. Yeah, I like that. And then maybe we drop that a bit. That feels better already. Now let's fill it with grit and pain. Grit and pain, grit and pain. Beep, 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 grit and pain. Let's go with 20, 20, 20. Perfect. Clean up the edges a bit. Very good. Maybe a bit more. This is the pit of the big bad evil. This is where the local villagers get thrown into as a sacrifice, as a blood sacrifice to the ritual, which needs lots of them. It is a hungry ritual pit. I'm gonna try doing it like this first, and then so I stream 6 days a week, Monday through Friday in the morning with my first cup of coffee, and then on Saturday a little later in the day, and then typically on Monday and Thursday night I stream for 2 hours. So I log in probably about 12, so that's 12 hours in the mornings and then another 4 hours in the evening. So I put in about 20 hours a week into just streaming like this. So if this is if you're interested in game design, artwork, or cartography, I am more than happy to spend time with you. Hopefully this is the channel feels chillax. It's kind of a study hall sort of environment for folks to unwind and feel a little creative. If you've got questions about anything, whether D&D, art, photography, or product design related, I am more than happy to try to answer any questions that you might have. One of the major purposes, one of the major goals of the channel is to be able to provide a little look under the hood as to what it takes to be able to produce all these assets, what it takes to create a PDF game supplement. They're both creative writing and technical manuals, kind of rolled into the same product. It's just a matter of, which direction does your particular idea lean more towards right now? Is it more of a technical manual about different game options and procedures that players or DMs can follow during the course of the game, or are you creating an adventure like this, which is sort of a narrative workflow process with technical details on how to execute the different steps in that discovery sequence over the course of the adventure itself. And then there's just a raw lore dump, which is virtually no technical information, and instead it's just like flavor. It's like a descriptive flavor for whatever it is that you are describing, whether it's a different, if it's a species or a society or how a guild operates. There's a lot of different ways to be able to approach lore itself without any technical details at all, which is not my cup of tea. I prefer diving into the mechanics of things, which my body of work in the description down below will readily reveal to you that I'm a DM that creates player options, because the player options I create are the kind of things I wish players in my game could do. Or it's the kind of stuff that players in my games have asked, hey, is there some way I could do this? And when the answer inevitably is no, 5th edition, Wizards didn't really flesh those kind of ideas out, so we're kind of on our own to homebrew it. Well, I'm pretty extensive when I do homebrew, so by the time I've figured out all the mechanics that go behind a hypothetical option, it's something that's probably worth publishing. So I commit to that process, and then, you know, we do a bunch of artwork and hire an editor to make sure tech's smart, and all the bits. And at the end of it, we have, you know, something that's worth a few bucks. Post it up for people to look at at no cost before they decide if it's worth their money as well. And lo and behold, I get sales every week. So God bless all y'all. Thank you for the support. It certainly helps prevent this artist from starving too much. Kind of like that. Kind of do, kind of don't. I feel like, what happens? What does this button do? Well, I kind of like that button. Now it's really define stuff, don't it? Donut. Let's on that note, let's maybe duplicate this layer. Drop its opacity down a bit like that. This line, this gradation line here is lined up perfectly underneath this grid line. That's so funny. See, it's there, but it's not. See, you zoom out, it looks like it's missing, but oh, it's actually there. It's just underneath the grid line. That's kind of funny. That. I can tell I'm going to run out of water before I run out of enthusiasm today. That's a mood. Yeah, okay, let's duplicate this layer. No. Yes. We're going to drop that down to 50, like we were talking about. There we go. And let's grab this and make it also 50. Ooh, first try. And then maybe like maybe gives a squinch. Let's conceal that carry. And let's go back here and make for blah, 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 bigger. We'll end up erasing a lot of this. That is okay. Yeah, everything's on it so far. Now let's pick out our handy eraser tool. What I got? No, it's 100%. That's 100%. Okay. Nice. And then when we go through this one, let's go 50% for this one. And then we'll go to like maybe 25%. Kick down like this. Just tap at it a bit to get that blend going on. Tap, 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 taparoo. There, that feels pretty good. I like that. All right, so then we got this top mount thing. I'm not quite ready to mess with that yet, methinks. There, and what here? All right. I believe you. There, now for the swirling pits of hell. Might as well build a pit. Wow, that didn't work. What are you trying to do to me? What the actual deuce is going on? Whatever, seahorse. All right, we got that figured out. Whatever. Let's just make a big darkness. A pit of darkness descends upon you. Yeah, let's do like that. We can do like this. Hey, 20-minute timer. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. We've got a good 80 minutes left on the block. We can do some bad here. Yo. Bop bop. Bop bop. Yo. Pop. There's a lot of kids in my neighborhood. It is really, really fun and nostalgic hearing them running around and shouting at each other and just being kids. It's a lot of fun. They'll scream like bloody murder occasionally. It's so funny. Yo. Am I on screen? Yeah, I'm on screen. Hey guys. Let's pull this over here a little bit so I can at least stay on screen in case somebody floats by. If you're lurking, be welcome to shout out, say hey. Honk for funk. Yeah, that's a fun little pit of darkness, I suppose, right? Tendrils of evil. What's the next thing we want to do on top of that? Let's go with... Wait. What? Oh, right. Yeah. Line art. Derp. That's fine. We'll take it as it comes. This will end up working out or it won't, but we're just experimenting right now. Got the runny nose again. Man, every time I go on stream, I get a runny nose. What's up with that? Maybe it's been running all day and I just don't notice it until I start being self-scrutinizing, you know? Like, I may have been snaffling all day. And now that I'm on stream, I actually notice I have the sniffles. I noticed it this morning, too. And then I didn't notice it for the rest of the day. And now I notice it again. What's up with that? That's a little too pointed. The pit of darkness. So the idea here is to drop this down to a really low opacity like that. Here. And then like select, modify, contract by like, 2 pixels. To do something like that. So you have this stacking tentacle effect going on. So we will continue pursuing this endeavor. Apparently it's working. All right, we'll keep it going. I need to refill my water. So give me a moment. I will be right back. All right, back at it. like that. On screen? Yeah, I'm on screen. Yeah, let's do it like that. Something to stab the back of my brain. So we'll see. We'll see what comes out of that. That looks pretty good. Wrong button. Very good. Let's go with we'll go with select, and then let's modify. Let's expand that by 2. Cool. Go with select and then modify, contract by 2, and then blip, and then we can occupy you down to 10. Let me say we do that one more time. go. I'm happy with this. I think it looks really great. I am happy to be here right now. Yeah. You know, dude. Yeah. Maybe like that. Just do like that. Yep. 40 minutes left. Okay. We'll get done with this. Having issues with this one. There. Yes, like that. Very good. Very good. I'm not really jiving with that. Mm-hmm. Boom. Am I on the screen? Yeah, okay. I'm falling into this piece. do that, and we can go select, and we can modify, and we can contract by 2, and here, and then well. Right. There we go. Yeah, definitely into that. Let's do like that. Not bad. Let's take this up to this guy here. Bring that up. Put some layering on top of this, and layering. Fair. Let's go to boop, 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 boop. No. Let's go to filter. No. Select. Modify. Contract. To. I'll take this. Like 50%. Boom, 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 boom. Fair. Let's see if we can make something cool out of this. Like that. By God, time flies when you're having fun. Was that really 20 minutes just now? Jesus Christ. Okay, well, we're on our last 20-minute kick. So cheers to that. I think this is going to end up looking really cool. Boop, 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 boop. So far, so good. So what, right? Am I right? Of course I am. Want to go on the circumference like this? Maybe I do. Apparently I do want to go around the circle. Okay. Does that look good? Actually, yeah, it does look pretty good. Okay, use knows best. Very good. Well, okay, I'll admit, I don't think this is going to be done today. This is supposed to be the last session I spent on this, but maybe we will be here again on Thursday. I don't know. We're going to let the muse decide what happens on Thursday. She knows what's best to do. It is merely my job to follow her lead. She guides me into grandeur of art. Hey, I've got a vest. Dennis, hey! Fix my window here. My internet was down, but now I'm back. Right on, my dude. Hey, I'm not going to be here for much longer. Like maybe another 15 minutes. But yeah, we are building out the central, the nexus where the chrysalis grows to transform the ritual into a path to the plane of Mabar. But Dennis, my guy, how are you? The revive spell works well. You're reviving your internet? Is that what you mean? That is the general comment that we get, is that it looks like a big eye, and honestly, I'm super good with that. I think it's a very, very appropriate for the adventure. It is the artifact is, after all, called the Eye of Mabar, so it ought to look like an eye. It's basically like a black metal orb in the shape of an eye that gets pinned to the centerpiece inside. I mean, this is a 5 foot. Hold on, let me pull up the map here. Right, so 5 foot steps onto this platform. Of course, it's going to be coated in crystals. And when you get to the center here, you put the actual Eye of Mabar artifact here in the middle. And this is the nexus point, so all of the consolidated necrotic energy gets dumped into this pit and then gets recycled through this eye to create this prism effect that so like the guy Solzu that's performing the ritual, he's inside of this crystal chamber, so he's got cover protecting him from most spells, but the team can fight enemies out and about, like out and around here defending the territory, while the team's out here fighting. The ritual itself is throwing necrotic energy at the team. The guy inside Solzu, the guy that's performing the ritual, he can guide the eye to make targeted magical attacks against the team as they try to crack open the crystal and get to the guy inside of here. What its primarily function is to do is, here, I'll show you. Hold on. Where is it? Seal and cover. There we go. Okay, so what we're currently creating is here's the cover, right? So right now we are creating this chrysalis chamber here, and in the pit underneath it, it gathers all the necrotic energy, and then it channels it through the top of the crystal, that this pod that we're creating. It creates this basically like a tractor beam that hits the moon. That I forget the name offhand, but each moon in Eberron corresponds to one of the different dimensions. So this ritual is designed to grab the moon and pull it onto Eberron, and when it hits the nexus point, it doesn't destroy the world, but it folds the earth, it folds the moon through the nexus, through the manifest zone this is all happening in, and then that whole area permanently becomes a space of a coterminous plane nexus where you can cross back and forth between the material world of Eberron and the plane of death, Mabar. So it's literally grabbing the moon and folding it over this area where this ritual is taking place, so that you can step from one world into the other, presumably so that they can gather, demonic forces and gain command of higher order undead to command, since it is the Emerald Claw that's doing all this. Meanwhile, the Eye of Mabar itself is an artifact with its own intelligence, and it has its own plans that it's using this very egg-like shaped structure to create something of its own, despite what the ritual casters think it's intended for. So they're in the process of getting double-crossed, which is fun. I mean, spoiler alert and everything, but by the time your team fights through all the dungeon to get to this nexus, it's well on its way to being completed. And when things go wrong, the artifact takes control of the chaos, and it starts to use the stray magic to complete its goal of what it wants to bring to life, which is very different from the goal of the villain NPCs in the game. So there's a surprise challenge at the end, and depending on how the team handles it and what the team's goals are, they can either stabilize the connection and build a bridge between the worlds for whoever their employer is, or they could be destroying the Eye of Mabar to get it off of the world, depending on which plot hook you're using and who your patron employer is. And if you're following the one-shot option of each person randomizes who their patron is, what their goal is, and what assets do they gain as basically like freebie magic items to achieve those goals. When you get to the end of the adventure here, the team is now potentially dealing with a disagreement about what are they actually supposed to do when they reach the nexus. Some of them will want to destroy it and have objects that can do so very easily. Others will want to simply take pictures of it so they can report back about evil in process. So they're using a little snap, like a little disposable camera magic item to collect evidence along the way. So depending on what your goal is, like another team's goal is to reactivate. There's going to be a teleportation circle here, and it'll be disabled. So one of the objectives, one of the campaign goals is simply to get the teleportation circle working again, so that your employer, when they get the message, like you have a sending stone, you activate the circle, you click the sending stone, that lets your client know that this is an active circle again, and then they cast Circle of Teleportation and trigger it to open up a gate between where they're coming from and where you are at in this room, at which point you can step through the gate and get out and be done with the place. But on the way out, there's a bunch of wet work teams going in with like high weapons out, like heavy aggressive, like a kill team. So you could either join the kill team and clean up the rest of the dungeon with them, or you're like, our asses are kicked. We hit our end of the goal. We'll get killed if we stay in there. So pay us, we're out. It just depends on what your goals are. It depends on how you end up approaching the final content that we offer here, which we spell out for the DM. So the DM can help set what if it's part of an ongoing campaign, and you end up spending like 5 or 6 sessions inside this place. The DM can help establish what the goals of the team actually are and align those with whichever patron would be most beneficial for their long-term campaign objectives, or even use some of these plot hooks as seeds in earlier adventures. So by the time they get to this, they're trusting the handler that's sending them into this place. So it could be a long, like if you're planning on using this adventure at 7th level, your DM can be running a long con on you to have you using the same mercenary, like the same handler for like 4 or 5 levels. And by the time you get to this point, they've been a straight shooter with you till now. So you got a new gig, you go in with it, and everything is going sideways. And then your team gets to deal with that sideways chaos and build an adventure out of it. I like the option of them cleaning out the dungeon and then taking it over as a base of operations for themselves and start working out of this region in general. I just think that's a cool campaign. But some teams may just want to destroy this place, which is perfectly fine, and they'll have the tools to do that. Others are more than happy just to hand off the keys to the place to their employer and get out. You got the yawns going. All just depends on what kind of what's the goals in your campaign. What do you want to play? But I love that kind of stuff. Like when I put a fortress or a dungeon or something into a game, especially if you're still in the single digits for your character, I as a DM, I'm usually thinking, is this a place that they could take over and make a base of operations? And if they did, what plot hooks are surrounding the area that would make it a fun area for them to basically take command of? And I'm one of those old school Beck Me gamers that, by the time you hit 9th level, you should be thinking about having a castle. I'm sad that that's not present in 5th edition, but that's okay. We've written a whole 70-page document on how to do that type of stuff using 5e mechanics that probably won't publish until 2025, considering the work docket that we have. But it's being play tested and it's in use. I'm about to wrap up my Eberron time travel campaign, and when I do, I'll be using that domain command system with my spelljammer mechanics to do an asteroid salvage company campaign, where the team is basically surveying and spelunking different asteroids for mineral rights. And if it looks like a promising rock that would be something worth mining, then there's a chance of opening up like aberration and all sorts of monster dungeons inside of the depths of the asteroid. Like some asteroids could be prisons that were specifically launched out into orbit so that nobody would ever fuck with them. And then, here comes your stupid salvage team, and they're picking up signs of magic and metal. So oh yeah, we want to crack this open and find out what's inside. And what they find out inside is, I don't know, maybe a Siamese twin beholder or something that's just an abomination, a beyond abomination that will wreak havoc on the team or their ship. And pirates and all sorts of fun crap. It'll just be a Spelljammer campaign, but it'll be all about building the asteroid it'll be like a Belter game. Belt up power! But that will be fun. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. And that's going to be a squad game. It won't be about an individual. It won't be about individual characters being heroes. They'll have a roster of different 6th level characters that are kitted out for different tasks, whether they're surveying, spelunking, clearing caverns like monster hunting, ship piloting, and negotiating on behalf of the guild. Like those will be the 5 roles of types of characters that they'll. Oh, and researchers will be number 6. So they'll have a stack of 6 different types of characters as resources that they can assemble as teams when the players decide what aspect of the campaign do they want to handle right now. Like, do they want to do trade negotiations with other merchant groups or pirates that they have to buy off, or do they want to play a patrol team that's looking for pirates to kill off before they find your mining operation, or do you want to this session play spelunking team to map the dungeon, like the cavern complex, and clear out any hostile creatures found inside, so that the mining crew could then come in and start excavating resources from the asteroid. And that'll all be player-driven decisions. So it should be a hell of a lot of fun. We have all the mechanics. They're like I said, they're in the process of being play tested. We'll eventually publish that once we get done with all the other crap we have on our plate. It's like my goal is to build out all the subsystems using 5e mechanics that were in BECMI but don't exist in 5e, so that you can have that domain and army command and space combat, and forge your own army in the blood war and fight both demons and devils at the same time. That sort of stuff. Like that's some like epic BECMI crap, and I want to bring that into 5e, and instead of creating my own role-playing game, which I could always do, but for now I want to use these ideas and use them on 5e content that Wizards already created. It's like, if Wizards had created these larger scale campaign ideas, this is how like Dragon's Horde could go, or like here's how Storm King Thunder runs when you have the ability to build an army. Fighting dragons is a lot more fun when you got 5,000 friends helping you, which arguably is kind of what Storm King Thunder is about. So it's about clearing dragons out of the area so the giants can be at peace. I think Storm King's Thunder as a spelljamming campaign would be a lot of fun, but that would be another conversion project. So like 2027 maybe. I need a studio. I need a studio of writers and designers to get all this shit created within a sensible time frame. 9 o'clock. It's time to rock. Maybe I'll finish off this. This grid pattern here before I go. Not sure though. Maybe. We'll see. If I have the patience for it, we'll finish it out. But we're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to have 2 sessions tomorrow. We're going to have the morning stream where we drink coffee and do some character art for Spelljammer. And then for our lunchtime, we are going to continue the development of the Martial Powers project. And we are going to remove... we're going to restructure it so the power system stands on its own. And then offer so that it's a clip-on on top of martial classes, so that they can all use it from level 1 if they want to. And then the fighter, rogue, barbarian, if they want to lean into martial powers when they gain their subclass option at 3rd level, they can lean into a power-focused subclass option specifically, or they can just leave the power system just as an extra resource for skill checks and additional combat maneuvers. But if they want to lean into it, they can use the subclasses that we've been designing. So that'll make it just a little bit more. That means I get to change the focus of the project a little bit, which I'm happy about. And honestly, if I tried to rush it out the door, I don't think I would have ran across this in time, because this is just started triggering in my head. You've been pussyfooting around making this an opt-in mechanic at 3rd level or whatever, but you can just hard code it into the system from level 1. And just make it that much more of just an alternate spellcasting system. That seems to be where 1D&D is heading for 5.5. So that'll make the conversion process a little easier. Because I'm gonna have that Martial Powers book published probably around the time that 5.5 is published. So I'll build the thing. I'll probably have to just turn around and start reformatting it, but I think it's worth it. I want to get it out there. It complements the color mana system, so I want to add more content to it. And once 1D&D drops into 5.5, I want to redo all the color mana mechanics anyway. Like my spell point sorcerer won't make much sense as a pact caster if 1D&D makes the warlock a half caster, for instance. So converting that would make a lot of sense. And for people that want to stick with 5.0, the document still exists, but I also want to make something that complements the 5.5 edition. Plans within plans, man. But there's a decent chance that 5.5 Marketplace will move to D&D Beyond, and One Bookshelf Drive-Thru RPG will still potentially have rights to DMsGuild to continue doing 5.0 content. But Wizards obviously won't tell us until a week before or whatever, so that we know where we can start publishing the stuff that we've been working on for the past year, which is gonna suck, but it's I want to do the Mass Combat Dragonlance conversion. I absolutely want to do that. Absolutely want to do the Guilds and the Guilds and Kingdoms book, because there's a shitload I can do with the Ravnica setting once we do, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, before I started creating content like this, when a new edition came out, I was honestly just more curious about, what's new in the game, and let's start looking at what are new good builds, and how does the game play. But now that I'm a creator, I have a lot more invested in where's this game going and what's it going to do and how's it going to affect me, and does that delay me moving from a hobbyist into into serious for full-time work. And so that's a little chaotic, not gonna lie. But I really I've loved making this Eberron adventure, so I want to make more. I have two more already on my mind that I want to build, but it'll probably be 2026 by the time they're done. So all my shit, like I said, I want a crew. I want a whole crew of people writing and designing with me, so that I can back off being the load bearer for all this. But I need to find a team that really gets what I'm trying to do, and has the chops to be able to take the ideas that I have a step further. So that's folks that I've worked with before, like with this project and others. They get my work, they like the work, they're excited being part of it. But it's not necessarily something that they want to devote all of their like everyone I work with has like 4 or 5 irons in the fire themselves. So like the idea of being, wow, I want to be your go-to guy on building stuff, is like, I don't think I've ran across anybody yet that I've worked with the professional chops that I want. That like by the time you get the professional chops that I'm looking for to be able to help me on these projects, they're so well developed. They're like, yeah, I'm doing my own thing. I'll help you with this thing, but I'm not, I can't plant my flag here. So that becomes a real challenge. Big challenge. So I kind of expect myself to be stuck doing this stuff solo for like ever. But I've got a small roster of really kick-ass editors that I love working with, and I'm starting to build a little black book of writers that I respect, and designers, and folks that are really great with math. Depending on what the project is, those different types of people are going to be needed to complete the task, and trying to figure out, trying to build that roster of go-tos that are that can help the projects that I'm imagining be better than they are. So we'll see. Or, I get hit by a bus tomorrow and never mind. I am recognizing the possibility that while heaven is perfect, it doesn't have a lot of imagination because there's no pressure. So it's an infinitely capable but utterly uninspired environment that is desperate for inspiration. So we create these meat creatures with expiration dates, and we don't tell them. The punchline is that when you die, you just go back to heaven and you take off your meat suit and pop a beer and hang out with your friends some more. Basically, like putting a quarter on the console of the video game at the arcade, and basically waiting for your turn to have your run. And you just talk shit with your friends in heaven while you wait for your for your coin to come up in queue, and then you have at it. But the point I was trying to make was I don't think Heaven is actually very creative, and so I think they rely on meat creatures to be mortal and thus inspired to make a difference, so that they come up with cool things. Like I think Heaven wants wants electric cars, but they aren't motivated to do it, so they create somebody in our reality that is just has a fire burning in them that before I die I want to make sure this electric car thing works. And when they die, you know, they get handed the keys. Like, yeah, now that you're here, we can download all of your ambitions and dreams for what you could have achieved if you had more time, and just blueprint those and start rendering all that stuff here. Here's 5,000 ideas that you had never had the opportunity to ever get to in this lifetime, but were in your heart because of who you were. Now we can all cash in on that and start, you know, building off of that. So if I'm right about that, they love playing D&D, but they're horrible at designing new ideas, like new mechanics and new campaigns. So they have to create people like us to download into this body that feel a burning passion to get source books and supplements created before we die. So little do we know that when we die, everything we ever wished we had had time to create will be waiting for us there. And then we can start playing. Or, you know, whatever. We're waiting for a coin. So, you know, let's play D&D for a millennia before it's time for our life to come up in queue, and we can, I don't know, get really into wireless energy or something like that. Who knows? Who knows what my next project will be in my next life, you know? But it's a fun way to approach Heaven. I don't know if it's true or not. Obviously, I won't know until I'm dead. But it's a fun reason for why artists have this this burning need to produce. It's like God is their patron, but it's a secret patron, and they don't get to know until they finish the job. Anyway, I think it's a fun idea, and it doesn't hurt anybody, so mazel tov. I'll do like that. Oy vey. Finish the work. Got another. I can spare another 10 minutes or so. Ha ha ha. So I'm gonna give myself 10 minutes. There. Grab some water. Get back to work. Ooh. Lumpy. Such great music. Epidemic's got some really good tunes on it, man. I'm impressed. There we go. It's all curved out. Feeling a system surge. I don't know where it's coming from. I think I can finish this circumference. Yeah, we'll call it quits for the night once we finish this circuit. Another few minutes. Should be done. And then we'll be back tomorrow morning and tomorrow lunch. Tomorrow morning for more Spelljammer creature and NPC tokens. And then lunchtime to further develop the Martial Powers project. Super looking forward to that. There we go. Nice. Now let's... All right, let me get rid of that. We might convert that to a greenishness. Not sure yet. Next thing I want to do with this, and for my next trick, how about that for timing? Perfect timing every time. Badass. The next thing I actually do want to do with these little highlights. Like that. Create that light sheen effect. I've got some line stacking issues that I'll need to fix for the cosmetics of this, but basically like that. Which is just going to look fucking awesome. When it's done, it's just gonna look so great. I want to stop here like I said I was going to. I still have a couple hours worth of work. Between this and the teleportation circle and changing the water here and the stairs and doors. There's still some stuff I need to do. So me saying this is the last session today, I think that was a little presumptuous. Kind of bit off more than I would chew there, buddy. I'm going to get called out for it. You're welcome to call me out on it. That's cool. But we'll see. We'll see what Thursday brings. I could do all sorts of stuff, but this is honestly incredibly satisfying to do. God, it's so satisfying. It just looks so cool. So I'm going to hit save. We're going to stop here. So we're going to come back in about a little less than 9 hours from now. We'll be back on stream running some Spelljammer NPCs. And then in about 15 hours, I'll be back doing the Martial Powers stream. So if you're new, hey, I do this 6 days a week, twice on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I do it twice. And then, so about 20 hours worth of content each week. Sometimes I'm super talky. Sometimes it's just a study hall. You're welcome to shout out at me whenever you want, but like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, check out some of the books I produced down in the description down below. They're all 100% free previews, so you can read them cover to cover, and then decide if you want to support me with a purchase or not. But otherwise, I'm going to kick out of here for the night, get some sleep, come back bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and continue attacking this with you guys. So I'll see you on the other side. Thanks a lot for being here.